December 17th, 2015 meeting of the Granada Community Services District Board of Directors is called to order. Roll call, please.
President Leonard Warren.
Here.
Vice President Matthew Clark.
Present.
Director Jim Blanchard.
Here.
Director David Seaton.
Here.
And Director Rick Lohman is at the house.
Okay, general public participation. I see speaker slips. I assume you want to be called in the order you had them to me. Fran Pollard.
Where do you want?
Stand right here. Close.
Over here?
Yeah, no, close, close. That's good. Come a little closer, switch down.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm here to urge you to, I understand that there's a parcel for sale on the Burnham Strip, the Impink property, and I'm urging you to purchase that property. I think it's a reasonable price. He's being reasonable. I think he's offering it, or willing to offer it to the district. It's the final parcel. The district now owns the whole southern end of the Burnham Strip up to that parcel. And then that parcel connects with the little nursery school. So it would be important, that would be a perfect, I mean, it's an essential parcel to complete the whole southern end of the Burnham Strip at least. If we can at least complete that. Otherwise, somebody else is going to get it. You're going to have buildings or any kind of junky things could go on it, you know, or a big building that would block the views. So I really think it's a really crucial parcel, and I think you got the money for it. I don't think, and I know there's people that say, no, we should take care of what we got. No, land, there's no more land. I brought a whole bunch of things. This is the community plan that was, well, of course, first let's go back 100 years to Daniel Burnham, why the strip is named after him. And it was a vision that would be, parcel for the community parkland. 60 years later, about 40 years ago, many of us in the community worked on this community plan, and this shows that the Burnham Strip here was designated for park and open space, and so was that little parcel that we were referring to as the post office parcel. They go together. Now, I think you kind of lowballed the price on that parcel, which is why we didn't get it. So please don't lowball this one. I think it's reasonable. We need it. It's a perfect parcel to complete the whole southern end of the Burnham Strip for park purposes for the community, and we'll worry about the rest of it at another time. But I just wanted to say that I think that's important. And the community plan became the LCP, and the LCP is part of the Coastal Act now, and it's in compliance with the Coastal Act. And so I guess, again, I want to urge you, if you don't buy it now is the time. It's for sale now. If you don't, somebody else will, and who knows what will happen to it. And what did I want to say? I think you'll regret it if you don't purchase it now and have something else. Then that way you and the community will be in charge, and have be in charge of what happens with it and what the best use for it. Again, it would complete the whole southern end. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to show you. We had a plan for Quarry Park. I've got scrapbook of the before and after Quarry Park. We worked on the Burnham Strip for years, saved that. We've got lots of material on the Burnham Strip and what visions we had. So, and this is part of it. So really, let me see if there was anything else I missed. Nursery school, let's see, I said that. So it's, as I said, it's in compliance with the Coastal Act, and it's an important parcel. Oh, and I wanted to thank Mr. Impink for holding out this long. He held out, you know, he could have sold it years ago. And he held out for us, so if he wants to donate it or part of it, that would be great too. If he can write it off on his taxes, that would be great, but if not, let's buy it. And I think that's it. Thank you very much.
You know, you've been saying a century ago for so long, it's now 109.
I know. I'm just rounding it out to 100 years.
Yeah. I would like to have an agenda item for at least preliminary discussion at the next regular meeting.
Oh, I was going to say that, yeah. Please put it on next month's agenda.
And for anybody who wants to read that plan, which was adopted by the Board of Supervisors in 1978.
So it's almost 40 years
It's
ago.
online. This is not San Mateo County website, but it's online at plan.sanmateo.org. Because the county will not make it available because it's too protective of the county's philosophy. Barbara Dye.
Hi, I'm Barbara Dye. I'm relatively new, as you know, to Granada, but I have a lot of background in land preservation. And I guess just having lived here a year, I realize how critical the berm strip is, how important it is to this community. And it seems to me this group is the one that at least should take the lead. And I did talk to the local land trust that is interested in this. They don't have funding. But I think there's a lot of community support for the idea of preserving the berm strip. And if you guys take the lead, I think there's a lot of us who would work to try to maybe put a coalition together to buy it. I don't know what the options are, but I do think it's really important to preserve that parcel. And I hope that you'll put it on your agenda and we can talk about it further. And I'm happy to help. Thanks.
Thank you.
By the way, Barbara's on your Parks Committee.
But I'm speaking as an individual.
Yeah, she's an individual tonight, but she is part of your Park Committee.
Okay.
And I'd like to mention something too. Last meeting, one of the board members mentioned I was speaking on a topic to make an agenda item in terms of administrative consolidation ideas, ways that the 4 different agencies can work together to save money. And so I'd like to add that to an agenda item for next month.
Okay, we can do that. Any other comments for items not on the agenda? Okay, we will move to the action agenda. Item 1, consideration of resolution approving adjusted rate schedule for fees and charges for solid waste and recycling services. Julia.
Well, at the last board meeting, it was our belief that we would have to do the full Prop 218 notice and public hearing and allow a protest of this. However, council informed the staff that the public hearing and review and subsequent approval of the agreement, the new franchise agreement last year, met the qualification because it included a methodology for the rates over the next several years. And therefore, we were only required to notice all of the Recology customers, which we did within 30 days in advance. Our notice I provided in the packet, and I think anybody who lives here probably got it. And our rates are going up fairly minimally. It was a 1.87% increase over last year's rates. And I've provided a copy of the rate sheet. And essentially, we need the board to approve the resolution, and these rates will go into effect January 1st, 2016.
I should mention that there's somewhat of a mess with the 2 separate contracts, Montero and Recology and Granada and Recology. And we're basically a year ahead of their schedule, and that's why we were supposed to have had a big rate increase for 2015. And I didn't understand the whole situation. And in fact, to this day, I'm probably the only one on the whole coast side, including Chris Porter, that really understands what's going on here. So there's probably going to have to be an adjustment because it's a really tangled mess, and I'm gonna have to explain it in some detail to staff.
This year or next year?
Well,
The
this
index-
is set 2016, it's gonna be this fairly minimal rate increase, but then we're probably gonna have to do catch-up to match, and we're gonna have to reset schedules. I don't know how it's gonna be accomplished. It's
The
really,
agreement-
really messy.
Yeah, the agreement that was approved set which years was at the cost base versus the index base.
Right, and so 2015, we should have had the big increase that Montera's getting for 2016.
No, ours is set for 2017, is when we're index based. I
all right,
looked it up.
We're gonna have to talk about this more.
So it will be the 1.8%, it may go up a little bit more the following year on the index versus the cost
Well,
base.
theirs is going up by almost 50%.
That's what I hear, but they also have very few commercial customers to subsidize their costs, and we have substantially more commercial.
Yeah, that's an
Customers.
explanation that I got, but
Yeah.
anyway. I just wanna get it out there that things may not be quite so,
Rosie?
yeah, I was trying to come up with something different than that, but yeah. But, you know, what we're gonna approve tonight is that's gonna be it for 2016, and then things may have to be reset for 2017. So, there's no public hearing or anything on this?
Yeah.
So I guess,
We just need approval.
any director comments or a motion? There are no speaker slips on this. Is there a motion to approve the?
I have a question, actually. On the second page of the rate sheet, at the bottom, special provisions, administrative charge replacement of delinquent accounts on property tax roll. Can somebody refresh my memory, has this always been a charge?
Yes, well, it hasn't always been on there. They started charging for putting parcels on the tax roll a few years back, and it's gone up with their rates, but it's been there.
I think under Seacoast, it was a really minimal charge, if any. It's
I don't think
Ecology that put in this
yeah.
punitive
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah. That's,
I mean, very specifically Recology that made this charge punitive.
yeah, that's why I noticed it. I don't think Seacoast did that, but of course, people who pay their garbage bill.
So,
It's a lot of work to put it on the tax roll, trust me.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the resolution next in order as written.
I'll second.
it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposition, no abstentions, motion passes unanimously 4-0. Item 2, consideration of report by district sewer authority mid-coast side representatives. Oh, that's me. When Rick's not here. We had, I'm not sure where to start this. You see the agendas for the last couple of meetings in the packet. So the new manager, Beverly Marshall, started on December 7th, and so her first day was a special meeting with primarily closed session to discuss replacing general counsel, who resigned effective the end of the year. And he's the only counsel that Sam has ever had. He was there as Sam was being formed.
Wow.
So we can blame him, credit him, no, blame him for the language problems in the Joint Powers Authority agreement. Now, he in fact has told me that that's because there were things that had to be left out just to get it approved at all. So, tomorrow at noon, there's the SAM employee holiday luncheon or something, and they're also making that a invitation here, a going away, some sort of commemoration of his service there. So So that's what we did on December 7th, and so what's notable from November 23rd. Pretty much status updates on various things, so nothing really notable for reporting here. Yeah, it's pretty much all updates on various things in progress, including something that's rarely on the agenda, which is the Kehoe water course and what Half Moon Bay wants to do with that situation. But that one's too difficult to even attempt to summarize. Now, the one note I have that isn't going to be on these two agendas is that I think probably on the new GM's first day, Supervisor of Administrative Services Jeanette Tracy said that she's retiring at the end of the month. So that means in the last year and change, the Technical Services Supervisor retired, the Administrative Supervisor, the Services Supervisor retired, the General Counsel retired, and the General Manager quit.
Wow.
So it's an interesting challenge for the new manager.
Harbor District.
Well, at the Harbor District, all the staff leaving was a good thing. Not necessarily so at SAM. But I did have a couple of long discussions with the new manager, and I think she's going to be very good. I have a lot of faith in her management abilities. And she hasn't moved here yet. By Christmas, she'll be here. She's going to live in Montera. So she couldn't make this meeting here tonight. She'll be here at our January regular meeting. And I think that's probably all that I need to say for the SAM reference report.
Leonard, I noticed that we don't have the minutes from the November meeting. I think last month we didn't have the minutes from the previous meeting either. Do you know why that is?
Julia? Usually the
If we
SAM
have the
meeting
minutes,
minutes
we'll
are.
provide it, but if we, at the time that we generate our packets, if we only have an agenda, that's all we can
The
provide.
draft minutes are supposed to come out within a week after the meeting, and if you just call up and ask for them, that's gonna.
Yeah, I've asked Genevieve to do that, so
Yeah.
I assume that she did it this month, but I'm not sure, so.
Well, I think that some of these things that are supposed to happen that haven't been happening will be a bit better with the new sheriff in town.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, good, because those are, of course, much more informative than the agenda.
Right. Yeah.
We can provide them the minutes anyways if you like them, you know, in your box or something, if
Yeah,
you like a hard copy.
well, it'd be good to have them in the in our packet.
Yeah.
Or maybe between
Well,
distributing packets in the meeting, we
It's
can.
preferable to get them in the
Yeah,
packet.
yeah.
Fran?
Wasn't there something on the recycled water?
Yeah,
Some good
I thought that I reported on that previously, and so without the minutes, I don't remember specifically what this agenda item was, but basically, the speed bump is that CCWD's general manager, Dave Dixon, is painting a picture of how it's not cost effective.
I
Now,
thought they were in favor of it.
well, most of the SAM board doesn't agree, and so we're re-looking at some of the assumptions. And I did report on this at a previous meeting, while Rick and I reported on it, that one of the big issues was that it looked like we were gonna have to do RO, reverse osmosis, which is a very expensive process. That right there adds $1 million to the cost of building the recycling plant, because of too much sodium and too much chlorine or chloride in the recycled water, and it kills the grass at the golf course. But SAM staff have to commend them for doing this. They looked around, they sampled at various locations in the SAM territory, And they eventually pinned it down to what's coming out of Rocket Farms. And so Sam's staff is working with Rocket Farms to resolve that problem. And their incentive to resolve the problem is that, among other things, in Community Service District Ordinance Code, we have the authority to say you can't put that in the sewer system because it's affecting the plant operation. So anything at all that people put in the sewer system that affects the plant operation, we can stop them from doing it. So Rocket Farms definitely has incentive to work with Sam and fix the problem, and then we can move forward again on the recycled water project without the RO stage. So that's where that stands.
And haven't Sam's staff have looked at the numbers for the recycled water project twice, I believe, and both times didn't strongly express the opinion that the water district numbers were way high. Like,
I think that's a fair assessment.
yeah, much higher than it needed to be. But of course, as Hunter just mentioned, if reverse osmosis has to be built into the system, that will add another $1 million. So, and that's a big chunk.
Plus, it also increased operational costs with the power for doing RO, and it increased the ongoing maintenance costs because some of that RO stuff has to be replaced fairly regularly, and it's a big ticket item.
Yeah, they're expendable now.
Yep. So we really, really need to do it without the RO stage.
Just so you know, there were Sam personnel putting some tests out in the manhole in front of the post office today for recycled water. They
Okay,
said
well,
24
that's
hours.
probably still the same thing of looking at, you know, is there some part of the territory that's contributing
Yeah.
a substantially higher amount of the sodium and chloride? Okay, if there's no other questions on that, we can entertain a motion on the consent agenda, which is item 3, the November 19th meeting minutes, item 4, the December 2015 warrants, and we have a replacement page for that. Item 5, the October 2015 financial statements, which were tabled from the previous meeting, and item 6, November 2015 financial statements.
I would
We want
not,
to take them to vote.
I don't want to pull this off, but on our minutes, at item 3, action, this resolution was, it's noted as approved 4-0, and then Director Seaton opposed. He actually voted no, so it should have been 4-1.
Oops, I
Oh,
missed that.
right, sorry about that. You're correct.
So, I'll second Jim's motion to approve consent as amended.
I'll change the vote there.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. No discussion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No one opposed, no abstentions. The consent agenda is approved unanimously 4-0. Item 7, committee reports. I don't think I have anything. Anybody else? No committee reports. No attorney's report because he's not here. No general manager's report because he's not here. Really anything to add to the,
No, I really don't. It was a slow month, December usually is. I reported on the Park Advisory Committee meeting we held on November 30th, and that's moving forward, and then I'll be on vacation for a week in January, and our council will also be on vacation from mid-January to the beginning of February.
When's the next Parks meeting?
I haven't been able to schedule that yet, but I'm going to, and it should be sometime in January, yeah. Originally it was gonna be on the 12th, but I'm gonna still be gone, so.
Are we okay with having everything ready for the regular meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I would like to ask you to always include the GPAC minutes, I guess, on your report
Okay, I can
packet.
do that.
So if you could could distribute the
Sure.
last ones to us.
No problem.
I was gonna ask the same thing. Email would be fine.